damage, and the infrastructure required a chaotic stage of rebuilding. In the process, the state became controlled by an elitist, affluent white race who gained control of the economy, military powers, and island state government, even though the majority of the population were of the browns or red race. From Arion grew a corrupt, power-minded aristocracy who sought to block the law of one and utilize Atlantis' technology for control of the world. This through the utilization of crystalline energy for weaponry and use of genetic science for development and retention of an inferior race to serve as workers and soldiers. Thus, through legalized governmental control, the use of the Atlantean crystal power complex and grids came under governmental control under the sons of Belial, and sadly could not be reversed. The second moon of Atlantis was a massive, programmable Andara crystalline satellite of Arcturian construct and managed by the priests, scientists of the Law of One. The crystalline satellite was an enormous unmanned sphere of brilliant engineering, approximately 5 miles in diameter. It has been in use since the golden age of Atlantis and served myriad benevolent purposes. It amplified and controlled the various crystal beams sent from the fire, healing, and energy crystals. It was somewhat of a computerized macro chip that refracted, amplified, and reflected powerfully refined beams of energy for use in agriculture, weather control, tide control, healing temples, regeneration temples, and the enhanced ley energy systems generated by the crystal poser system. It loomed in the skies of our Atlantis and appeared as a golden harvest moon, and thus was known as the second moon of Atlantis. A rainbow kaleidoscopic energy band of anti-gravity plasma swirled around the sphere and often appeared as what you now term the aurora or northern lights. This grand second moon of Atlantis began to malfunction soon after the power-hungry deviant Aryans seized control of it and using it as a military weapon, causing its natural harmonic gravitational field weakened. Okay, a quick transmission from Kitty. Yes, sir. He just had to get his 2 cents in there. Seeing the catastrophe that was about to happen, key Atlanteans quickly gathered an inner group of loyalists within the Atla-Ra and Law of One to plan a circuitry disconnection and imminent relocation of the Andara fire and energy crystals to various safe locations before the impending crash of the master satellite. This was done with the technology and assistance of those from Sirius B. Members of the Atla-Ra worked furiously at hastily and safely gathering data, recording Andara crystals, crystalline skulls, and engraved historical records for secure placements in Yucatan, Alexandria, and Giza. 7 of the enormous primary crystals and 2 slightly smaller but incredible Arcturian crystals were relocated within the bulk transport systems of the underground tunnel system with help from Sirius B. 3 huge primary crystals were relocated to the Atlantean crystal fields were scattered all across modern North America. 2 were relocated to the underground crystal farms of Brazil in the areas of Bahia and Minas Gerais. 1 was relocated to the underground chasm below Mount Shasta, and the Great Fire Crystal was placed underground in a chasm below the Bimini Bank in the Sargasso Sea. The 2 sacred Arcturian crystals were relocated in the chasms below the area of Tiahuanaco, Bolivia, near Lake Titicaca. All of the giant Master Andara crystals were put in fifth dimensional locks, essentially powered down into energetic dormancy through the technology of the Sarians. Indeed, after a few months of being utilized as a military thermal death ray, the great crystal satellite overloaded, its anti-gravity cushion weakened, and it crashed with the accelerated velocity of a massive comet massive comet in a horrific explosion that devastated most of Atlantis and critically weakened the tectonic stability of the Atlantean plate, vaporizing massive sections of substrata. And then, in one shattering gasp, the remaining lands collapsed downward into the sea. The displaced seas that became known as the Great Flood sent dozens of enormous tsunamis that spilled over South America, Africa, and Europe. It is a scene that has for many, many lifetimes plagued and darkened the memories of many of you who were indeed a part of it. This catastrophic explosion left a timeless trauma in the very being of every one of us to this day. Even though Atlanteans were already a very advanced race, they were on the verge of an even greater spiritual evolution during those ancient days, but the big quantum leap never happened. Everything came to a grinding halt, and it was all cut off on that grave day. Fortunately, we buried the Andara crystals in the earth for you, and we passed our technical knowledge down to you via our Great White Brotherhood. You are receiving this knowledge right at this very moment. You see, dear one, this story is about your past. You remember what happened, don't you? You are still here today in modern times, trying to finish where you left off. You are the type that never gives up. Moving forward from an ancient Atlantis to modern day, we are here now again with you. We are not just here with you, but we are you. We are the higher dimensional version of you, speaking with you, assisting you. The higher being has come to aid you in this great time. Pleiadian Special Operation Andara began on Earth date 3/21/2019 as the Grand Central Race 5D portal was opened for all starseeds of Earth to travel through for the first time in modern human history. Many Ascension pioneers have already ascended through this Stargate, and we are here to show you the technology that will help you do the same. It's important here to say that you must do all of the things you have been trained to do to elevate your consciousness, such as clear all lower vibrations, including negative beings, situations, toxins, and all types of trauma from your energetic field. Be in nature, ingest energetic plant-based nutrition, meditate, physical body movement, sensory input of beautiful high-vibe music, tone, geometry, art, and aromas, affirmations and gratitude, gain advanced knowledge, practice manifesting your dream reality, being of good and noble character, and much more. However, at the end of the day, a bit of natural but advanced technology to amplify and assist with all of this makes it all work much easier and much faster. This is where ancient Andara technology enters the scene. You may have heard the word Andara a few times recently, and that's because we are sending high levels of 5D Andara plasma energy to Earth now to finish forming the new Earth crystalline grid, and we are here as an ancient brotherhood to reacquaint you with this ancient Atlantean technology to aid in your personal spiritual evolution. We will use this space in our message to say, any being who has Andara crystals near their energy field for even a few days will begin to notice a rapid increase in manifestation. We give you a word of caution here and say that even low vibrational energy manifests outwardly, but at this point in your spiritual evolution, you have most likely cleared most of that, and if not, Andara will simply bring it up for you to be aware of it so you can quickly clear it. An Andara crystal is a living non-terrestrial benevolent energy, and that's what higher spiritual beings do. They mirror your energy back to you by default so you can see it clearly, face it, deal with it, and transmute it if necessary. As soon as you come into contact with an Endara crystal, life will become a bit energetic, but isn't that why we desire the crystal in the first place? The secret here is to master yourself first, and then become the master Atlantean crystal technician. Endara crystals are the most mysterious objects on Earth, and they cannot be totally defined or measured completely because of their metaphysical properties, and they do not make human sense at all. This is because they do not come from planet Earth, and they are truly a literal piece of magical, ancient, extraterrestrial technology that takes some time to begin to understand. All starseeds that have experienced Endara crystal energy will tell you there is something going on here that is not of this world, and all we can say here is you must study ancient Endara technology and simply experience it for yourself firsthand to gain the knowing of it. What is Atlantean Endara technology? Endara technology is advanced Ascension technology derived from the lost knowledge of Atlantis and Lemuria, when the great central race was here on Earth the first time. The history of Endara Ascension technology. The ancient Atlanteans and their sister colony, the Lemurians, achieved a higher level of their consciousness in their time and transformed themselves into a much more advanced race known as the Endarians. This quantum leap in consciousness was done primarily using Endara crystals. What are Endara crystals? Endara crystals are the highest vibrational crystals in this universe. Endara crystals originate from fifth-dimensional star systems and were left for us buried deep in the earth by our ancient elders to aid us in our current 5D ascension process. Endara crystals were used in ancient Atlantis and Lemuria as advanced ascension technology for heightened spiritual development, as advanced energy technology, and for total healing of the layered energy bodies. In the original Atlantis and Lemuria ascension, an interdimensional implosion occurred, and the seed material was heated not only to very high levels, but in a contained hyperfield, which is created by two or more dimensions touching. The hyperfield forms a no-time zone where linear laws of thermodynamics are warped, or in some cases do not apply at all. It was within such a hyperfield that the prima matra powders and the Endara crystals were created. Monatomic Endara crystals emit an extremely high energetic frequency that corresponds with the fifth dimension. As light passes through an Endara, powerful rays of transformative, healing energy are released and can be inducted directly and instantly into the auric field. These crystals are multidimensional and are not bound by space and time. Monatomic Endara crystals work directly on your DNA and will tune your auric resonance to the fifth dimensional 40 Hz gamma state of being. The metaphysical science of Endara Ascension technology. Endara crystals are formed in a no-time hyperfield, creating within them a kinsothenetic continuum. This is a continuum that allows a moving time field within the elemental and structural composition of the crystal formation. In essence, this K continuum does not align to natural polarity, but instead phase matches directly with the universal light matrix, or the golden net of Athena. The etheric energetic net moves matter beyond the time barriers. Access into Athena's net allows soul matter units integration with future forms of spirit matter. Athena's net was the original and universal Akashic internet. Endaras contain high levels of monatomic etherium, which is much more rare and potent than monatomic gold. The magical substance is what the Anunnaki came to Earth seeking. Monatomics exhibit the properties of superconductors at normal temperatures. The principle behind a superconductor is that it is able to carry electrical energy without any resistance present, thus exhibiting a zero loss in the conduction of that energy. In addition, the process involves the conversion of electrons into a light frequency as they pair off within the superconductive medium. One of the keys in these monatomic superconductors is the presence of exotic single atom materials such as rhodium and iridium in the high spin state. A new science has emerged to deal with the quantum-like properties of high spin state, high frequency elements, superconductivity, gravity, defying materials, teleportation, space-time manipulation, multidimensional universes, and other truly astonishing exotic technologies. We, the Atlanteans, use Endara energy to bend gravity and to power and operate our plasma light ships. Natural monatomic elements exhibit extraordinary properties that strengthen and stabilize the electromagnetic fields of the human body. Monatomic metallic elements are superconductors with a null magnetic field, repelling both north and south magnetic poles. This is conducive to zero-point energy. Zero-point energy, ZPE, is known as an energy that fills the fabric of all space, which exists at very high frequencies. Monatomic metallic elements have the ability to tap into this limitless supply of energy in ways that we are just beginning to understand. Endara crystals contain the most concentrated charge of monofield, hyperfield, and kinsothenetic continuum of any substance ever discovered by humans. Monatomic metallic elements can actually alter their physical state and shift into other dimensions. When heated under certain conditions, monatomic metallic elements, normally 35% silica, fuses into a beautiful obsidian-like material comprised of 75% silica. Your Earth scientists are unable to explain how the seemingly impossible transmutation takes place to this day. Endara material is able to transfer its exotic properties to similar metallic or silica materials. It seems that the monatomic metallic elements have the ability to resonate similar materials to their high frequency rate, transmuting and or transforming that material to resemble and reflect their exotic properties. This is the beginning understanding of how Endara energy activates and tunes your DNA strands to higher dimensional frequencies. Monatomic Endara crystal is the result of monatomic metallic elements that are found naturally in the Ethereum powders heated to high temperatures. This process not only transmutes the Ethereum powders but refines the monatomic metallic metals and enhances their exotic properties. Monatomic Endara crystals resonate at the high frequency of the exotic matter they were created from. Monatomic Endara crystals are quantum in every respect. Since frequency is a measurement of energy, Endara crystals will tune the body to the exact, perfect natural frequency for optimal health and a state of youth. Monatomic Endara crystals are also heliocentric, meaning that they absorb and reflect physical light toward the center of their crystalline spiral. This causes the monatomic Endara crystal to be very healing to gaze into while holding one in natural sunlight. What's more, Endaras are 5D master being crystals that are monatomic in structure and contain prima matra, which combines 70 minerals. Endara crystals are composed of the most potent form of prima matra found on Earth. What is prima matra? Prima matra is an ancient alchemical term that means prime, unviolated, first matter, and covers any form of matter that is resonant with the original first matter. Original prima matra is light just beyond the ultraviolet end of the visible spectrum of the rainbow, high frequency. and the forms of prima matra with us today as the visible colors of the rainbow. Gradients less in frequency, but all still light. Prima matra is simply high frequency light data that exists in the ether. The substance is known as mana, the elixir of life, the philosopher's stone, the fountain of youth, the primordial substance, an exotic matter, and it has many other sacred names. It's being revealed at this time to the planet to assist humanity with the transformational process. Andara crystals are the Atlantean equivalent of a quantum supercomputer. Andara also is a powerful amplifier, a multidimensional transmitter, and receiver, and it can store unlimited amounts of gamma light data, just like a 3D computer hard drive. This advanced otherworld extraterrestrial technology is the closest you will get to having access to real magic on planet Earth. All Andara crystals on planet Earth are not the original Atlantean Lemurian crystals. The original crystals exist in the 5th dimension. All Earth-based glass Andara crystal is connected etherically to the 5th dimensional Andaras, and all the ones found on Earth resonate at the same high frequencies. Andara crystal glass and Andara crystal are different human names for the same prima matra monatomic 5D material. Andara is the most powerful amplifier of consciousness in the universe, and since you are already creating your own reality, this is the main ascension tool you will need to manifest not only a personal life of dreams, but also a better world for all of humanity on planet Earth. Do your own in-depth research about Andara crystals, be around them and work with them personally, and you will soon begin to understand the beginnings of what we understand. Acquire some of these magical stones and align with them to create your own ascension magic. Dare one, keep reaching for the stars, be encouraged and have faith. You have fought the good fight of love and courage. You have stayed the course and ran the race to the very end. Just ahead is a safe place that is free from the anxieties of life you have been experiencing. It is time now for you to be free and happy and to come on up to a higher and much better way of being. How to work with an Andara crystal? Simply come into close contact with an Andara. Hold it, meditate with it, gaze upon it, and send your highest intention into it. Andara will greatly amplify your desires and manifest them quickly and directly to you from a higher dimensional plane. Godspeed, Michael and the Pleiadians. A recommended source for Andara crystals is 5dearth.com/new-earth-Andara-crystals. In the link in the description below this video will be a link to this transmission with a link to the crystals, and it's been brought to my attention in the past that there are many fakes being sold out there, so do your due diligence. Be careful, don't some people are charging high fees for the crystals, and there's many fakes, so be careful, be aware, do your research first. So thank you for joining me here today. You can connect with other Lightworkers and Starseeds in our 24-hour chat room on primedisclosure.com/chat. You can just create any, or just type in any username and sign in. You don't have to create an account. Join us in our Facebook, my Facebook page and Prime Disclosure. Let us know what you're experiencing in these days and these coming days in the comments below the videos. You can communicate with other Lightworkers in the comments, see what other people are experiencing. So thank you for all that you're doing. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your beautiful support. Thank you for sharing these videos with your social networks and for the thumbs up, and for shining your brilliant light, your glorious light into the night. Stay true, stay strong, be in the love and the light and the truth of the one prime creator, the great mystery. Much loves and blessings. Namaste.